Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Cindy Daychuk with Queen Bee Creations. Different view for you. I'm at the end of my dining room table looking out into my backyard. So sorry, everything's all covered. It looks all kind of gray and gloomy because it's put away for the winter. But I have a big celebration, birthday celebration coming up this weekend, and I'm going to be making sugar cookies. Now, that's not a big deal in and of itself, but I'm going to be using some of the IOD molds. Now, I had done this for you guys 3 Christmases ago, maybe. And some people don't go back that far. And so I wanted to share with you the process of using the molds with sugar cookie dough, because you can do this all year long depending upon the molds that you're using and stuff. And it's an awesome way to be able to do beautiful cookies. Now, this is the sugar cookie dough that I use. You can see that it's fairly stiff. I'm going to put the recipe, I'm going the ingredients list, otherwise known as a recipe. I'm going to put the recipe into the description box, because not just any sugar cookie dough will do. This one is perfect for 2 things. One, you don't have to refrigerate it at all. So you just mix it and you can use it right away, which is awesome. The other piece, and this is the important part, is that it does not spread. So when we're doing these cookies and we've got all these details, we don't want to use a dough that is going to spread out as it bakes, and you lose all of those details and all that definition. So this is the perfect recipe for it, because it maintains its shape and it maintains all of the details. And you can use this with any of your molds. So I'm going to pull you in closer so that you can see the process, and then we'll go from there. Now, these molds can withstand up to 400 degrees. So I do know that there's some people that actually bake their dough in the mold. But then I can only do 1 tray at a time, and I don't get that. So I unmold them and I continue making cookies. I just bake a whole big tray of them. So what I do is I take my pastry brush and I do dust my molds with some cornstarch. Much the same as if I was using any air dry clay, right? So this particular cookie recipe as well has a lovely both vanilla and almond in it. So I love the taste of these cookies on their own, and as much as they're sugar cookies, they don't have tons and tons of sugar. I'm not supposed to have sugar, so. The bake time on these, just while I think of it, is going to vary. I mean, it's anywhere from 5 to 9 minutes, but you're going to have to keep an eye on them, because these big ones that are quite deep and thick are obviously going to take longer than, little tiny skinny ones like this one that are quite shallow, right? Kind of makes sense. But really all we're going to do is we're going to take our cookie dough and we're going to press it into our molds exactly as if it was our air dry clay. And here again, the beauty of that micro rim is perfect, because we're going to be able to just cut that dough off. And all that I'm going to do when they're ready is I'm just going to flip it over and peel back the rubber. And there's my perfect little cookie. Transfer it onto my tray, and we're gonna bake them at 350 degrees for that 5 to 9 minutes. So I'm just gonna do a whole tray at a time of these babies and get them in the oven. And then we'll come back and I'll show you how beautiful they are. Okay, sorry, not the best lighting in here, but it is what it is. These are our finished cookies. So what I want you to see is, look at the detail. It's still all there. They didn't spread. It's got all of the ridges, you know, even on these. So all the detail remains on the cookies, and you can actually pack them into your cookie sheet. As long as they're not touching, they won't spread. So you can get tons and tons and tons onto your cookie sheet without any issues, right? So look how beautiful. So you can go ahead and decorate these however you want. If you like doing a lot of, you know, royal icing and piping on the icing and letting it flow and painting on the metallics, you go crazy. I've done all that in the past. This is not a class on how to be able to decorate cookies. So really, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a paintbrush and I'm going to paint on some really loose icing as glue, and I am just going to do some sugar sprinkles because I actually love the taste of sugar cookies. I just don't like the taste of a whole big whack of hard icing to be able to get to the sugar cookie part. So I'm going to keep it nice and simple and just do, you know, a little bit of decorating on it, a little bit of icing. The sugar sprinkles will just kind of stick where I painted. And I think that's good. I think that's enough. I'll do a little on the tip. So I'm just going to get these all done and laid out so that they can dry up a little bit. I have, I'm doing this over top of a piece of parchment so that I can save the sprinkles up and reuse them. So once I've done the red, I'll just kind of dump it back in and keep sprinkling it. But I'm just going to do that with different colors just to be able to keep it simple and still be able to taste my cookie. Let me know what you think of this one, guys. Really, it's all about the recipe. The molds are going to go back into the dishwasher. So there are people that will keep a set of molds just for the kitchen so that they will use it for chocolate, for fondant, for pie crusts, for cookie making, and then they'll use separate ones for their resins, for their clays. I'm going to pop these into the dishwasher and then they're good to go. So, you know, whatever works for you, go with that. But don't overlook the use of your molds for items like this. You know, think of other releases of the molds. I mean, the huge pumpkins that just came out, doing great big pumpkin sugar cookies for Thanksgiving or in the Halloween season. How cute would that be? Or the sunflowers, those big sunflowers would be gorgeous. Even if you've got some of the earlier Christmas molds, the snowflakes and the trees, those are the ones that I did 2 years ago when I still had that Christmas tree mold that makes me cry that I let that go, not stopping to think that I'd never be able to get it again. So any of your molds can become awesome cookies, and very simply and very easily, because even just the cookies like this are drop dead gorgeous with all the details. Drop in your comments. Definitely give this recipe a try if you're looking for some molded cookies. It works perfectly without a lot of muss, a lot of steps, and way easier. If you have a hard time pushing the clay into the mold, the cookie dough is so much easier. So you might have a lot of fun with it. Hope you enjoyed this one, guys. Definitely look forward to seeing you on the next one. And until then, take care.